So I'm just going to sort of talk a bit about what SAS does, actually show a bit of using SAS and go into a little bit more depth than we did at the overall software session. So it's going to be sort of part presentation and part demo. SAS is a large, well-developed package. The statistical analysis is just one part of the package, but it's the main part that I'm interested in. It does all sorts of other things to do with data mining, data manipulation. There's lots of parts to it, so it's a large package and a lot of money has gone into developing it. In terms of the statistics, there's a wide range of very thoroughly researched procedures, whereas R is a bit more experimental and anything cutting edge. Someone develops syntax to do it in R, but it's not always as well sort of researched and thoroughly QA'd as in SAS. SAS is often used by kind of companies, and it's very important that the analyses are sort of suitable for regulatory bodies and very well prepared. And another advantage of SAS is it does have an excellent support service. It's very easy to sort of email them, and I think they have a policy of replying within 24 hours. And I've had some quite detailed replies on fairly complex questions, so it's a sort of very, very good source of advice. Just to recap on some of the features of SAS, as I said, wide range of analyses. It'll do basic types of all the simple types of tests to quite complex analyses, and in fact most of the statistical types of analyses you might want to do are available in SAS. Very flexible data summary, and I think that's an advantage of the package as well. You can present data in a variety of forms suitable for reports. It does have good graphics, but it does take a little while to become expert in this, and some people reckon it's probably easier to use, maybe if you just want simple graphics, to use Excel, and in some ways R is just as good on the graphics front. Very good for manipulating data. I find this useful. You can have multiple data sets running and you can combine them in various ways. It's best to use it via syntax, I think, although SAS have kind of bolted on menu-driven option versions which are available. These are some of the names of them if you're interested. I think probably when you get to the stage of wanting to use SAS and doing more complicated analyses, it's usually better to do it via syntax and to save your work, and then you can go back and revise it at a later date and see what you've done. There is a moderate learning curve. I don't think it's as difficult to learn as R, although it's quite difficult for me to compare because SAS is my main package, but I understand R is a bit more, takes a bit more time to get to grips with. It's popular particularly in the commercial sector. They like it because it's all so well thoroughly researched and QA'd. Less people use it, academics use it, so if you are planning an academic career, you might want to think about whether SAS is readily available in the sorts of places you might want to work. Particularly in the US, it tends to be more widely used sort of across all sectors, not just commercially. The cost, we're lucky here because it's free within Roslin in the vet school, so anybody can get a free copy of SAS. Otherwise, if you work in other parts of the university or for other universities, there's a good academic discount. I think they're keen to encourage particularly students to be using SAS and to want to use it when they leave the university. So types of user, I would say if you want to go, I mean you can use it just for basic statistical tests, but it's not necessary to use SAS for that. But if you want to go beyond that and do more interesting analyses, particularly fitting models, then it's good to move on to a package like SAS. If flexible data summary is important, then as I said, SAS is good on that. And you need a bit of time available to learn it. It's fairly intuitive, the code, but you do need to sort of allow a bit of time to get used to it and have a bit of patience with it. So I'll look at some examples of data summary. I'll go through an analysis so you can get a feel for the kinds of ways you can use the syntax to sort of build up an analysis, and if we've got time, say a bit about manipulating data using SAS.